Hi, this is James McDonaugh. Watch my latest Academy interview only on Hibernian TV.
James, after a difficult run of results for the under-20s, back to winning ways at Hamilton on Wednesday night. A 4-0 victory. Your thoughts looking back at that, please?
It was a much needed victory, that's for sure, and just in terms of confidence for the players having gone out of the Youth Cup. But what a way to respond, really. There was a bit of pressure put on them from myself, definitely, throwing down a few challenges. I think performances too many times have been below par, and we've had to point out that we can't accept that. Everybody can have bad games, but when you go on a run of bad games, you have to get your way out of trouble, and confidence was maybe a little issue, so it was a bit of a pick-me-up after the Rangers game and pointing out a few things. We spent almost 4 hours actually analysing an hour of a game of football, so we've done a lot of work on Monday, and against Hamilton, everything come off, and the boys, a number of them, I've never seen them work so hard, and the response was really good. Obviously, you're allowed to add 2 or 3 experienced players, and Michael Nelson at the back was a massive help for the young players, and that's what you need when you're 18, 19, to be playing beside experience. So, so many good points to come out of the Hamilton game after so many disappointments against Rangers.
Obviously a hat-trick for Jason Cummings as well. He just can't stop scoring, can he?
He's been really good all season, to be honest. He's been a great find, somebody that's playing boys club. I've said this before, last season, and his hat-trick last night was great. He worked really hard. Him and Ross Caldwell were exceptional up front. I thought their work rate was incredible. They couldn't have worked any harder, and sometimes as strikers you do work that hard but you don't get your rewards. Well, Jason got them last night with 3 goals, chasing things down and getting his reward for that with the first goal. But an overhead kick was fantastic, and his goal after Sammy Stanton put him through, rounding the goalkeeper and rolling into the net. Again, 3 types of goals, but he's on fire. He's scoring goals all over the place.
Obviously the overhead kick, is that something that you've coached him, trained him to do on the training pitch?
We practice them all the time, I think. It's just instinct from him, really. It wasn't a bicycle kick, it was a good ball in from Ryan Baptiste, and he just showed sort of good agility, and it was a half hook, a half overhead kick. He's got his left foot up high and it sailed into the top corner. He's got that in him. He just scores all types of goals, tap-ins, volleys, edge of the box, extraordinary hits. He's just a natural goal scorer that enjoys scoring goals.
One obviously danger about promoting a teenage striker into the first team is, will they cope with the physicality? But when he made his debut against Inverness, he almost got booked, didn't he, for repetitive fouling because he was putting himself about. So that must be reassuring from your perspective. He
did. I think you might look at him and he's not the tallest, he's not a big target man, but he's certainly strong. He's physically capable of handling himself, and I think his fouls were a couple of things for me, really. A bit clumsy from him, and maybe a bit not getting used to the pace of the game coming on at that time in the game can be difficult for a young kid, but fair play to him. He didn't hang back and he got stuck in, and I think a bit more exposure and over time, and he's already coming and trained with a new manager, and that'll all help him, it'll all add to his development. I think he's missed a bit of development in terms of not playing at pro youth level over the last couple of years, but he's making up for it now and he's improving week in, week out.
Do you feel that rawness, which I know that you're working on right now, but does that give him an extra advantage because opposing defenders don't really know what to expect from him?
I think it always does when you're a young player coming in. It's a surprise element for the experienced players you're playing against. They don't know you. All the young boys have had that. Alex Harris last year. I think the big challenge for a young player is, you come into professional football raw, and that's my job to try and polish them up, and the more polished they get, the closer they get to the first team, and then when they go in the first team, if they can polish everything up, they'll stay there. Now the challenge for a young player is one, to get there, and when they're there, it's then once opposing teams have identified you, it's to be able to do it again and again when they know what you're good at. So the challenge for Jason will be to play more games, and then when he's in there, be able to handle experienced defenders.